What if I told you that one of the world's biggest music festivals began because a famous band refused to perform? Imagine a hot desert surrounded by mountains. A place where almost no one expected history to be made. Today, millions of people dream of visiting Coachella. The world's biggest artists perform there. Celebrities fill social media with unforgettable moments. Fashion trends begin there. But behind the glamour lies an unbelievable story filled with risk, failure, determination, and one bold dream. How did a quiet desert become the heart of modern music culture? Stay until the end to discover the incredible history of Coachella. Welcome to English Orbit, where you improve your English through amazing true stories, history, biographies, and world-famous events. Every story is written in easy English to help you improve your vocabulary, listening skills, pronunciation, and comprehension naturally. Now, let's travel back to Southern California. Long before Coachella became a global festival. Long before millions of people arrived wearing colorful clothes. Long before famous singers performed beneath the desert sky. Our story begins with an empty piece of land, far away from the busy streets of Los Angeles. There is a beautiful desert called the Coachella Valley. During the day, the sun shines brightly. The air becomes hot and dry. Tall palm trees move gently with the wind. Mountains surround the valley from every direction. For many years, this place was famous for farming. Dates, grapes, citrus fruits. Local families worked quietly on the land. Tourists occasionally visited nearby resorts. But nobody imagined that this peaceful desert would one day become one of the most recognized places in modern music history. It looked too quiet. Too remote. Too empty. Yet sometimes, history begins in the places people least expect. During the 1980s and early 1990s, live concerts became increasingly popular in America. Rock music attracted huge crowds. Pop stars filled stadiums. Alternative music was growing rapidly. Fans wanted more than simply listening to songs on the radio. They wanted unforgettable experiences. People traveled hundreds of kilometers just to see their favorite artists perform. Concert organizers noticed something important. Music was becoming more than entertainment. It was becoming a community. A place where strangers became friends. Where thousands of voices sang together. Where unforgettable memories were created. But organizing such events was not easy. Finding the perfect location was one of the biggest challenges. In the early 1990s, a British rock band called Pearl Jam faced a serious problem. The band disagreed with a large ticket-selling company. They believed concert prices had become unfair for fans. Instead of accepting the situation, they searched for a different place to perform. They wanted a location away from traditional stadiums. Some promoters suggested a large outdoor venue in the California desert. It was called the Empire Polo Club. At first, the idea sounded unusual. Who would travel into the desert for a concert? The weather was hot. The location was far from major cities. Many people believed the event would fail. But curiosity is powerful. The concert moved forward. And the result surprised everyone. Thousands of fans arrived. The event proved that people were willing to travel to the desert for great music. Without realizing it, the first chapter of Coachella had already begun. Among the people watching closely were two concert promoters. Paul Tollett and Rick Van Santen. They worked for a company called Golden Voice. They noticed something important. The desert offered something special. Wide open spaces. Beautiful mountain views. Fresh air. Enough room for thousands of music lovers. Instead of building another city festival, why not create something completely different? Something larger. Something unforgettable. A festival where music, art, nature, and freedom came together. It sounded exciting. But it also sounded risky. No one had attempted such an event in that location before. Failure seemed possible. Success seemed uncertain. Yet great dreams often begin with uncertainty. Finally, the moment arrived. In October 1999, the first Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival opened its gates. Excitement filled the desert. People arrived carrying backpacks, camping equipment, water bottles, and endless energy. The weather remained warm. Music echoed across the valley. Artists performed on outdoor stages beneath clear blue skies. Everything felt different from ordinary concerts. Visitors could walk between performances, explore art installations, relax on the grass, meet people from around the world. It wasn't simply a concert. It was an experience. One unlike anything America had seen before. From the very beginning, Coachella wanted to be different. Instead of focusing on only one type of music, the organizers invited many styles: rock, hip-hop, electronic music, indie bands, alternative artists, pop singers. Everyone shared the same festival. Fans discovered new musicians they had never heard before. Artists performed for audiences from different cultures. The festival celebrated diversity, not competition. This unique idea helped Coachella stand out from many other music events. Music was only one part of the experience. Large art sculptures appeared across the festival grounds. Some reached incredible heights. Others moved with the wind. At night, colorful lights transformed the desert into a magical landscape. Visitors spent hours taking photographs, walking through creative displays, watching sunsets behind the mountains. Every corner offered something beautiful. The festival became famous not only for sound, but also for visual art. People realized they were attending something much bigger than a concert. Although visitors enjoyed the festival, the organizers faced serious problems. Creating a huge event cost enormous amounts of money. Stages, lighting, security, transportation, water, medical services, cleaning. Everything required careful planning. When the first festival ended, Golden Voice had actually lost money. Many business experts believed Coachella would never return. Some newspapers questioned its future. Others believed the desert experiment had failed. For a moment, the dream seemed finished. Sometimes, history almost disappears before it truly begins. Paul Tollett refused to surrender. He believed people wanted something different. Not simply another concert. A complete cultural experience. Instead of ending the festival, the organizers carefully studied every mistake. They improved transportation, ticket sales, festival design, safety, visitor comfort. Every small improvement brought them closer to success. Great achievements rarely happen perfectly the first time. They grow through patience, failure, and determination. After taking time to reorganize, Coachella returned. This time, it attracted even more attention. More artists joined. More fans arrived. People began talking about the festival across America. Journalists praised its relaxed atmosphere. Musicians enjoyed performing there. Fans appreciated discovering new music. Slowly, Coachella transformed from a risky idea into a growing movement. But nobody yet realized how enormous it would become. The biggest stars in the world were still waiting. When the desert became the center of global music, The first Coachella had survived. Many people believed it would disappear after losing money. But they were wrong. The organizers refused to give up. They believed they had created something special. Not just another music festival, but a place where people could celebrate music, creativity, and freedom together. Year after year, they continued improving every detail. Without realizing it, they were building one of the most famous festivals in history. After learning from the first event, Golden Voice returned with a new plan. Every mistake became a lesson. The organizers improved transportation, added more food areas, expanded the stages, increased security, made the visitor experience smoother. People immediately noticed the difference. The festival felt more organized, more exciting, more comfortable. Fans who had attended before returned with friends. Word spread quickly. Something extraordinary was happening in the California desert. Bigger artists arrive. As Coachella became more popular, famous musicians wanted to perform there. Rock bands, hip-hop artists, electronic music producers, pop singers, alternative groups. The festival welcomed everyone. Unlike many music festivals, Coachella celebrated different styles together. Visitors could watch a rock concert, then an electronic DJ, then an indie band, all in the same day. Every performance introduced people to new music. The festival became a place of discovery. Not just entertainment. Young people loved the atmosphere. There was no pressure to dress formally. Everyone expressed themselves freely. People danced, laughed, made new friends, watched the sunset over the mountains. For many visitors, Coachella became more than a weekend event. It became a lifelong memory. People started planning their trips months in advance. Some even traveled from other countries. The festival was no longer an American event. It was becoming global. Something unexpected began happening. People noticed that festival visitors wore colorful and creative clothes. Wide hats, bright dresses, vintage jackets, comfortable boots, unique accessories. Photographers captured these outfits. Magazines published them. Fashion companies paid attention. Soon, Coachella became one of the biggest fashion events in the world. Many clothing brands released special festival collections. Influencers shared their looks online. People who had never attended Coachella still copied its fashion style. The festival had created a completely new trend. Music was no longer the only attraction. Each year, the festival introduced larger art installations. Massive sculptures stood across the desert. Colorful lights filled the night. Creative artists transformed empty spaces into unforgettable experiences. Visitors spent hours exploring these displays. Some sculptures moved. Others produced light shows. Many encouraged people to interact with them. The festival became an outdoor art museum. Every year looked different. Every visit felt unique. Then, everything changed again. The world entered the age of social media. People carried smartphones everywhere. Photos could be shared instantly. Videos reached millions within hours. Coachella became one of the most photographed places on Earth. Celebrities posted selfies. Fans shared concerts. Fashion influencers uploaded thousands of pictures. Millions of people followed the festival online without even buying tickets. For many, Coachella became more than an event. It became an internet phenomenon. One photo from the festival could travel across the world in minutes. The biggest stars in the world. As Coachella's popularity grew, the world's biggest artists wanted to perform there. Legends of rock, Superstars of pop. Famous rappers. International DJs. Every year, fans waited excitedly for one announcement. The lineup. Who would perform this year? The answer always created headlines. Some artists reunited after many years apart. Others performed unforgettable surprise shows. Special guest appearances shocked audiences. Every festival created new memories. And every year, expectations became even higher. Tickets that disappeared in minutes. Demand continued growing. Thousands of people waited online for ticket sales. When tickets became available, they often sold out almost immediately. Many fans were disappointed. Others celebrated their good luck. Attending Coachella became a dream for music lovers around the world. Planning the trip required months of preparation. Hotels filled quickly. Flights became expensive. Camping spaces disappeared fast. The festival had become one of the hottest tickets in entertainment. The festival also transformed the local economy. Hotels welcomed thousands of visitors. Restaurants became crowded. Local businesses earned millions of dollars. Temporary jobs increased. Tourism reached record levels. What had once been a quiet farming region now attracted visitors from nearly every continent. The success benefited not only the organizers. It also helped thousands of local families and businesses. The desert had found a new identity. Despite its popularity, organizing Coachella remained extremely difficult. The desert weather was unpredictable. Temperatures often became very high. Strong winds sometimes covered the festival with dust. Keeping thousands of visitors safe required careful planning. Medical teams remained ready. Security officers worked around the clock. Cleaning crews worked constantly. Behind every successful festival, thousands of people worked quietly. Most visitors never noticed their efforts. But without them, Coachella could never happen. The festival that inspired the world. Soon, other countries began creating similar festivals. Many organizers studied Coachella carefully. They admired its design, its atmosphere, its artistic creativity, its organization. Although new festivals appeared across the world, Coachella remained unique. It had become more than a music event. It represented creativity, freedom, art, fashion, and unforgettable experiences. Its influence reached far beyond California. By now, Coachella had become one of the most famous festivals on earth. Millions dreamed of attending. The biggest artists wanted to perform there. Celebrities filled the audience. Fashion trends started there. But success also brought new challenges. Higher expectations. Bigger crowds. Global attention. And unexpected controversies. Could Coachella continue growing forever? Or would changing times force the festival to reinvent itself once again? How a desert festival became a global cultural icon. The California desert looked peaceful once again. The music had stopped. The crowds had gone home. The giant stages were being taken apart. Only the mountains remained. Silent. Watching over the empty valley. But everyone knew something special would happen again next year. Coachella was no longer just a festival. It had become a tradition. A dream. A symbol of modern music and creativity. What began as a risky idea had grown into one of the most famous events in the world. Yet, its greatest influence reached far beyond music. For many visitors, Coachella was never only about concerts. It was about freedom, creativity, friendship, adventure. People came from every corner of the world. Students, families, artists, musicians. Travelers. Influencers. Everyone arrived for different reasons. But they all shared one experience. Watching thousands of people celebrate together beneath the desert sky. For one weekend. Language, nationality, and background seemed less important. Music connected everyone. One of Coachella's greatest achievements was giving opportunities to new musicians. Not every performer was already famous. Many young artists played on small stages. Sometimes only a few hundred people watched. But one unforgettable performance could change everything. Music producers noticed. Record companies paid attention. Fans shared videos online. Within months, unknown musicians sometimes became international stars. For many performers, Coachella became the beginning of an incredible career. The festival was not only celebrating music. It was helping create the future of music every year. Fans waited for surprises. Would a legendary band reunite? Would a famous singer invite a special guest? Would an artist perform a brand new song? Nobody knew. That mystery became part of the excitement. Sometimes, the audience screamed with disbelief. Unexpected performances became unforgettable moments. Videos spread across the internet within minutes. Millions of people watched from home. Even those who couldn't attend still felt connected to the festival. Every year, Coachella created moments that people talked about for months. Success also brought new problems. Tickets became more expensive. Hotels filled quickly. Traffic increased. Large crowds required careful planning. The desert heat remained dangerous. Visitors needed plenty of water. Medical teams worked constantly. Security officers protected thousands of people. Organizing such a massive event became one of the biggest logistical challenges in the entertainment industry. Behind every successful festival, thousands of workers spent months preparing. Most visitors never saw their hard work. But without them, the festival could never exist. Protecting the environment. Holding a huge event in the desert also created environmental concerns. Thousands of visitors produced large amounts of waste. Organizers began introducing recycling programs, water-saving efforts, public transportation options, reusable cups, and environmental awareness campaigns. Although challenges remained, the festival continued searching for better solutions. Because protecting nature became just as important as celebrating music. After all, the beautiful desert was one of Coachella's greatest attractions. When the world suddenly stopped, then, an unexpected event changed everything. In 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic spread across the world. Concerts were cancelled. Sports events stopped. Travel became difficult. For the first time in many years, Coachella could not take place as planned. The famous festival grounds remained empty. No music. No crowds. No lights. Only silence. Millions of fans felt disappointed. Artists postponed performances. Businesses suffered. It reminded everyone that even the world's biggest events can be interrupted by unexpected circumstances. When conditions became safer, Coachella returned. Fans celebrated. Artists finally performed again. The excitement felt even stronger than before. People appreciated live music in a new way. They realized experiences should never be taken for granted. The festival proved something important. Its success was not built only on famous performers. It was built on community. People wanted to be together again. To sing, dance, laugh, and create new memories. The spirit of Coachella remained alive today. Many festivals across the globe have been inspired by Coachella. Music, art, food, fashion, interactive experiences, outdoor stages, creative design. Many organizers have borrowed ideas first made famous in the California desert. Although each festival has its own identity, Coachella helped redefine what a modern music festival could become. Its influence can now be seen across continents. Why do millions of people dream of attending Coachella? Is it because of the music? The celebrities? The fashion? The beautiful sunsets? Perhaps. But many visitors give a different answer. They return because of the feeling. The excitement. The freedom. The unforgettable memories shared with friends. Long after the final concert ends, those memories remain. Sometimes, experiences become more valuable than possessions. That may be Coachella's greatest gift. The history of Coachella teaches us several important lessons. First, great ideas often begin with risk. Many people believed a music festival in the desert would fail. They were wrong. Second, failure is not the end. The first festival lost money, but the organizers learned from their mistakes. Third, creativity brings people together. Music, art, fashion, and culture can connect people from every background. Finally, success requires patience. Coachella did not become famous overnight. It grew 1 year at a time. One performance at a time. One visitor at a time. The unbelievable legacy. Today, the Coachella Valley Music and Arts Festival is recognized around the world. Millions follow it online. Thousands travel across countries to attend. The world's biggest artists dream of performing there. Fashion designers watch every trend. Photographers capture every unforgettable moment. What once was a quiet desert has become one of the world's most recognizable cultural destinations. That transformation is truly remarkable. Coachella is much more than a music festival. It is a story about imagination, determination, creativity, and believing in an impossible dream. From a quiet desert in California to one of the biggest celebrations of music and art on earth. Its journey proves that extraordinary ideas can begin in the most unexpected places. Every year, new artists arrive. New memories are created. And another chapter is added to the incredible history of Coachella. If you enjoyed this story while improving your English, don't forget to subscribe to English Orbit for more fascinating histories, biographies, mysteries, and English learning adventures. Until our next story. Keep learning. Keep listening. And keep exploring the world through English. Thank you for watching.